Hello, and welcome back to the Minetrek.net game server. This will be update 24 of the Enterprise build-out. We've been a little bit busy. M. Heller was on, and he did a lot of labeling. Greatly appreciated. It does help. Unfortunately, some of the areas that we're working on, the signs may have been bumped, mainly in the area like the quarters. I was filling out the quarters. I had to move some of the signs to get them out of the way. And some of the areas that Matt was working on, we had to go ahead and remove a couple of the signs because they were in the way. We removed this big, long, redundant turbo lift here, the one that I had as an auxiliary turbo lift. We went ahead and removed it because this will be here, and then we'll have another one here, so this one really wasn't needed. That gave us a lot of extra space up here, all the way down. This was all turbo lift at one point. M had labeled this area a 3-story tall kind of recreational area. We're thinking it's something like on the D, because it's very narrow and kind of wide. So, but what we decided, Matt and I were talking, it's like, hey, well, you know what, we could, since we're not using this space up here, and it was originally just, you know, cargo, why not go ahead and convert it into, you know, a grassy area, kind of like that, and combine the areas together and take advantage of this new gained space. But if, you know, we still need to have this 3-story thing, well, we can now have it 4 stories. So, and this was reserved for like medical rehabilitation and stuff, so it's still all there. Some of the signs may have been moved or dropped. I do apologize to him, but that couldn't have been avoided, unfortunately. Signs are extremely fragile. I mean, it doesn't take much to bump them off. I placed a block near one and the sign disappeared. You know, in item frames, it takes an act of God to get rid of an item frame, but a sign, no problem. Signs just drop like flies. Just really annoying. Real quick note, up here, we have the main lift for the shuttles. We also have 2 auxiliary lifts, which are just shuttle and cargo. These feed all the way down to the main cargo area, which is still under development. This lift here does not go down. It is specifically designed for this area up here. That's all it's for. It lifts stuff from here to this deck to this deck. That's it. To feed these cargo bays up in here. The reason it does not go down, and believe you me, I put some thought into this, is because we have these 2 big lifts here. We need this open, and we need this area here open between these lifts and when it gets mirrored, the 2 lifts on this side, so that we have access from the forward bay to the aft bay, or mid bay, because the aft bay is further back. Anyways, and we also have another lift that hasn't been set in yet, but it's up here. So, and it goes all the way to the top. Past that, we've started work on the shuttle parking and the hangar. Real quick here. Shuttle parking is being worked on. And Matt put a lot of time and effort into the hangar here, which is starting to look pretty darn good. A lot of effort, a lot of time has been put in here. I gotta slow down here real quick and zip up in here. Anyways, we went in and started setting up the corridors for the mating of the shuttles, or the fighters, so that little rec area here, that they can access the catwalks and the fighters themselves from this deck right here. So this start part is now in. I've been going through setting up the quarters through here, and some of the signs are still present. Some of them got moved around a little bit. You know, it happens. This was originally, M had one sort of a design here. I went ahead and just converted it into what I think he was trying to get at, so that it's a multi-crew, like 2 separate rooms, 1 big living room area. What's this one reserved as? Auxiliary deuterium pump systems. Very cool. So we have an auxiliary deuterium pump system, and I guess this is a fusion reactor. Yep, fusion reactor. Those are cool. Very cool. What's this set up as? Shield Gen CM IDF systems. So 2 big shield generators and IDF systems go there. These are cargo bays. The ship has a lot of cargo space. Speaking of cargo space, I would like to repurpose this cargo space to be, ooh, I guess that's okay, because there was a sign here for that. I don't know what happened to it. I did not take it down. I did put this sign here asking to turn this into Engineering Fabrication Center, because it's close to this, and it's good to this lift here and all that other stuff. what's this sign here? Parking bay. I may have knocked one of these signs off early. No, I didn't. It's a JT ton. When I was working on this area, I tried to put it back. Anywho, I also, down here, I moved this corridor from here to here because we have a large sensor right here and we need to be able to access that. I plan to rework this. Yep, I just wanted to let everybody know that I'm working down here. This area I had originally set aside as a inorganic, organic storage area, but I'm set up a large space up there for us for that. So this area can now be purposed for one of those many systems that are up there. These were actually taken directly out of the Voyager, the hull, and unfortunately I don't know what the deal is with the Voyager. I think it's the item frames or whatever, maybe the half slabs that do it to us. But when that area was present, I couldn't work in here without having some serious frame rate loss. So I went ahead and cleaned up all the hull bits and bobs around those so we could get to the components easier, cleaner, and place them where they need to be placed in the Enterprise E. I did try to keep all the labeling intact, however some of the stuff was not properly, or not properly, just was not labeled, or the sign got dropped because it was attached to sand. But where I could, I kept all the labeling. And the stuff that's not labeled, I'll go back to Voyager, because I'm pretty sure all the systems, they're pretty self-explanatory what they are, so we should be good to go. M had a large area labeled as gymnasium, and we'll get to that in a bit. iPanic came on and he reworked the engineering area, set the engineering area up, and because he reworked it, we had to have a perfect circle around the warp core, so we had to go through and redo this section of the warp core, and as you can see, it looks really nice. It really does. None of this stuff down here has actually been done yet. It's just stuff that I'd originally placed when I was working, so I tried to clean it up a little bit. This stuff may not stay here. It may get all changed out and everything else. So, yeah, it's been down here at label and stuff. Some of this area, like I said, some of the secondary hull was not yet pathed correctly. They were just temporary paths that I hadn't gone through and retrofitted, and I got distracted working on other things. And M came down and started doing the auditing, and I guess batteries, nodes, and relays. That's Sam's labeling. So we kind of got crossed on a couple of things. So I had to go back and retrofit a couple of things, and unfortunately that bisected a couple of other areas and things like that. So hopefully we can get that all sorted out. I did get rid of one stairwell that really wasn't needed. I wanted to avoid these one wide. I guess it'd be catwalks, yeah, upper access catwalks, mainly because they don't match up real well down here, and if this is a catwalk and say it's glass, you're going to look at the corridor below it and not the area in front of it. When the ship was designed and the interior spaces where the layout was designed, the central section, or the central mass of the ship, was designed for 2 stories tall or larger facilities, kind of like this one. Granted, the turbolifts have to go through here as well, so a large of it, but as you get out towards the side, it got harder and harder to have, as you can see, these 2-story rooms, because you get these little overhangs like this. They kind of quirk you out. Because the ship's hull contours inwards, and the corridors are spaced, like in this case, 3 away from the hull, 3 away from the hull, and you can see this one is one further out than this one. And on this one up here, these decks, the same distance from the hull to the corridor going all the way up. So the corridors actually, as the hull goes out, the corridors kind of work their way up and around, which makes having multi-leveled sections along here a little problematic for us. I was able to clean this up, put a 2-wide catwalk through here. M had it labeled. It was originally a 1-wide catwalk. I just went ahead and made it a 2-wide, and then I extended it to here so that we can go from here around and so on and so forth, while keeping all this area here intact and open for whatever we could put down here. I don't even know what he has it labeled as, to be honest with you. More cooling space. So yeah, there you go. More cooling space. The turbolift had to be, I moved the turbolift back so we gained some more room here, and I moved it back along here to best fit the area around the new warp core, not warp core, but the warp core area. M's been very busy through here. He did have more space back here. This line and this wool I placed in. originally from this point, this was all the way to here, and this was about right here, and this one was about one end from this, so it was like right here. It didn't look good, and I really wasn't sure where he was going with it, and I figured the best thing to do is go ahead and just put a line across here that makes it about the same size as this one. And if he needs more space, we can, I would like to keep this corridor because it's a pretty important corridor. We can lose, I'd also like to keep this corridor, but we can lose this corridor and this corridor. These two corridors don't matter. So, and I see M's actually on now, so. I had recorded a video earlier, but unfortunately YouTube cannot upload that video. Evidently it's corrupted or something, I don't know, it's YouTube. But I spent a lot of time coming through here cleaning this area here up. Again, M, since you're on, I think I've already talked to you about it, but as long as we can keep this corridor and the corridor below it intact, that's great. So you can get rid of all this space here, and if need be, you can get rid of these two corridors down here. And, you know, just get rid of them. You don't need them. We don't need them because we can use stairwells to the aft section of the ship here. But that's pretty much it. That's all that's really been going on here. Can't think of anything else off the top of my head. I've been very busy. Still big work in progress, trying to get some stuff done. Oh, there was one other thing, I think it's up here now. Got to come up here. Yeah, this right here. You have this labeled. I may have already just talked about this. Forgive me, I've been up for 24 hours. I'm pretty tired. This is labeled as a regular transporter room. Can we move that possibly back? Yeah. I went ahead and put some signs up. Turn this area into a regular transporter room. This was labeled as a large head. I did move the sign to here, and it said it's reserved for small head instead. So transporter systems, and EPS, ODN, junction bay, and node relay systems, either right here or possibly right in here somewhere. So, anywho, I do appreciate you taking time to watch. Again, this is the Minetrek.net game server, and have a great day. Bye-bye.